The environment is going to be wild inside the Devaney Center as Nebraska, the host, one of the top seeds in this tournament, gets set to play here in the regional semifinal against Dayton, making its very first appearance in this round. Bergen Riley starts us off. And they serve immediately at Almodovar. She will take the first swing and find success through the block.
Quick to the pin, and Almodovar pops off the floor, blasting through the block. We're going to see a lot of that. Not a lot of tipping expected tonight from Dayton.
Yeah, aggressive mentality was something that Dayton talked to us about. Why is that important against Nebraska?
Well, Lexi Almodovar told us, look, Nebraska's going to bounce balls. They're going to make incredible blocks, incredible saves defensively. We cannot play hesitant. We cannot play with tips and rolls. We have to be fearless and go after them from an aggressive standpoint, and you've already seen that in the first couple swings.
Yeah, 2 aggressive swings from Almodovar. She gets a third here, and that one will go long. Nebraska has its first point. This is a Nebraska team that's gone back-to-back in the Big Ten when it comes to championships. 7 wins against the top 10. That is the most in Nebraska history. They have 11 wins against ranked opponents. When you watch them compared to last year, what's the biggest thing that stands out?
Side-out percentage. They're passing better as a whole, and I think they've really shored up the issues that cost them that national championship.
We watched them, the 3 of us, against Texas a year ago, and they got served off the court in that national championship match. They now lead the nation in fewest allowed aces. That was a concerted effort coming back. We have to be better in serve receive. Led by Lexi Rodriguez, they certainly are.
A misconnection there will be a point for the Flyers. Texas aced Nebraska 12 times in the national championship match last year.
It was a big moment, and 5 freshmen on the floor for Nebraska, it might have been too much.
But think about the experience they gained from that match, and now how much better they are for it because of it.
Merritt Beeson will not get the touch, and Dayton out to a 4-1 lead. Harper Murray just setting it over. Lexi Rodriguez with the one-handed save. In comes Murray. Back to Murray. Drops it in.
Harper Murray hitting against the setter, Alyssa Miller, who's listed about 5'8", but might be the same size as Almodovar. And she's going to have a really tough matchup there defensively to stop Harper Murray.
Lexi Rodriguez to serve the AVCA Region Player of the Year. Free ball back to the Cornhuskers. They run Andy Jackson in the middle. And the offense kind of struggling to get a rhythm here for Nebraska.
Yeah, and there's got to be nerves, right? Which is only natural. You expect that. It's a big moment. There's a lot on the line, certainly for this Nebraska team. A lot of expectations for them to make it back to not just a regional final, but a national semifinal. For Dayton, I mean, Tim Horsman told us, we're playing with house money here. This is our first appearance in a regional semifinal. He said, we've just got to let it loose. We've got nothing to lose.
They had to wait a long time to play through a 5-set match to get to this one tonight.
What a fun one that was.
Harper Murray coming in. Woo, power!
Well, she's already showed you her range, right? She went middle back, thread that needle, place it right on the line. Here, off the set from her libero, she goes cross-court, wrist away. Great extension and reach. She goes thumb down there, splits the defenders. Excellent shot.
And Harper Murray carries a big load for Nebraska.
She's one of the few players on the court all the time. She and Bergen Riley never leave the court, and Harper Murray leads a very talented group of attackers for Nebraska with kills.
The difference in that load is Merritt Beeson is not in serve receive the way that Harper Murray is, so she never gets to take a play off.
Harper Murray leading Nebraska in kills and kills per set. This will be Beeson serving, and it's a service error.
For this Dayton program, they're a team that has dominated the A-10 for several seasons. They went undefeated in conference. In fact, they only dropped 2 sets in conference play. As there's the block, Elena Yates at the net. Tim Horseman winning the A-10 Coach of the Year, the Region Coach of the Year. He's their all-time wins leader. At one point, they won 22 straight matches on the season until they got to the conference championship final on their home floor, and they lost to Loyola Chicago.
It might have been a nice wake-up call, right? Heading into the tournament, you get a little wake-up call, sharpen your focus, and bring the attention to the things you need to work on in the gym.
Losing's not always a bad thing. He said we rolled through conference play. It's nice to kind of get a reality check every now and then, be reminded of what you need to work on. They shored up some things just before the NCAA tournament, playing really well.
Elena Yates getting on top of that ball. It's 6'6", high contact point on the gap set for Dayton.
Dayton up 8-5 here in the opening set against the 1 seed Nebraska. Emily Young, who's from Louisville, Kentucky, back to serve. That's where we will play for a national championship next week.
Went to Sacred Heart Academy, won't hold it against her.
And a net violation on Dayton, point Nebraska. John Cook directing Kennedy Orr on where to serve this ball.
She nails it.
Almodovar. Taylor Landfair using the block to her advantage.
She's so physical on the outside pin, and that's ultimately what allowed her to break into the lineup. When she transferred from Minnesota, she had to wait a while, didn't see a lot of playing time. Lindsay Krause was the other L2 on this team. Midway through the season, that physicality that she showed is what got her the spot.
And you saw that smile on her face. That's something that has reappeared, someone who has found their love again for this sport.
I don't think I saw Taylor Landfair smile for about 2.5 years, and it happened about halfway through this season for Nebraska, and I started to see her smile, and we talked about that yesterday with her, and she said, look, I found my passion again for the game and my why I love to play this game, and one of them is her team. She loves this team.
Sometimes you need a change of scenery, a change of environment, and Nebraska has been very good to her.
Rebecca Alec off of 1 foot.
Rebecca Alec is an elite blocker in the middle for Nebraska. We don't talk about her offense a lot, but she's been putting up really nice numbers for Nebraska in the middle.
And an interesting pregame tradition. If you were with us for the first match, we saw Rebecca Alec sitting on the front row crocheting.
Did not have that on my bingo card.
No.
Great dig down the line.
Almodovar off the block. 5'8", but Mighty Mouse gets it done.
I mean, kind of ballsy set from Kariska Kaminsky on that second contact. You think her momentum's taking her forward to go to the right side. She actually goes behind her head out to Almodovar, results in a kill. I love the risk.
Rebecca Alec in the middle. Almodovar off the block. They just keep feeding her.
Day and career kill leader Lexi Almodovar told us that she went into playing Baylor, playing like this could be their last match. She said we played like we had nothing to lose and we didn't want to have any regrets. So all week, Coach Tim Horseman said, swing fearlessly, be fearless. And the approach for Baylor is the same approach they're taking for Nebraska. Almodovar told us, yes, Nebraska will bounce balls, but on our side, all we can do is go for it, have no regrets. She also mentioned not tipping and play where they have an advantage, which is their heart.
Yeah, Madison, they say they out-heart their opponents, and that's why they're playing in this match here tonight.
I want a bit high, no touch, and the point will go Nebraska's way.
That's one of the disadvantages to being undersized against a big block. Trying to find those flat hands is a challenge.
So Olivia Mount comes in to serve, a true freshman, a Nebraska native. Sarkisian on the slide. Harper Murray tips over the block. Miller back to Sarkisian.
Alec out of the middle. Great run by Bergen Riley there. In transition, off the net. She forces and feeds the ball to Becca Alec there on a gap set, 31, away from her. Textbook play. I love to run the middle in transition, really hard to defend.
Reward the middle blocker for doing all that work, transition and blocking side to side. Rebecca Alec deserves it.
Why is it hard to defend in transition?
Well, it's a high percentage play and it's one-on-one. You have a lot of players that you have to worry about.
And also when a middle attacks, usually the tempo is so fast, it's really hard for a block to get up and defend, which makes it difficult for the backcourt to get set.
Oh, Harper Murray trying to get out her cannon, but just a bit far.
Dayton out scrapping Nebraska right now, staying in the rally, giving themselves opportunities to score points on Nebraska's errors.
Dayton has come out in this first set, and they've led most of the way. And John Cook letting his team battle through it. Alec in the middle.
I love it. Run your hot hand, Holly.
In the last 8 matches of the season, Rebecca Alec was one of the leading kill players for Nebraska. You didn't see that all season long, but that connection with Bergen Riley keeps improving.
Brooke Smith with the swing, dug up though by Rodriguez. And Smith is blocked by Merritt Beeson. Tied at 12.
Merritt Beeson gets right in front of this ball and takes all of it straight down, hands on the opponent's side of the net. Beautiful execution on this block.
Adding Merritt Beeson last year, she transferred in from Florida, immediately became a captain for this team and helped them get to that championship match. It was a big addition. Liana Sarkisian out of the middle, wow.
Big arm.
Last year, Sarkisian actually had to move to the opposite because they had a lot of depth in the middle. Not her natural position, so feeling much more comfortable back in the middle this year.
That was a natural swing, if I do say so myself.
Service error ties this at 13. Here is Beeson, a first-team All-American and the Region Player of the Year last year.
Well, to your point, Courtney, the addition of Beeson was so pivotal because they had so much youth last season. They needed a veteran presence, somebody who had been in big matches, played in big moments, and Beeson provided that. She's such a calm, steady player. She also plays with such joy. Everybody feeds off that.
Nebraska just took its first lead of the match.
Merritt Beeson is a fantastic leader. You can tell that she says the right thing. She's a selfless player, and she's helped lead this young group.
She knows when to push and when to reassure. And that's a really fine line from your leader on the court.
She was also the #1 overall pick in the PVF draft back on November 25th. A chance to play pro here in the States.
How about Almodovar out of the back row from Dayton? Nebraska knows it's coming and they're not bunch blocking. Well, maybe they are. Nope, they step the other way and get a one-on-one on this big set to Almodovar.
Nice job by Alyssa Miller recognizing that those blockers are hedging out. Run it straight up the middle.
Almodovar's already taken 14 swings. The next closest in this match is 6. Andy Jackson tagging the back line. She has become the slide queen this year.
A crown pass from Asia O'Neal from Texas, put on the head of Andy Jackson as Nebraska has a 1-point lead here in the first.
Well, this was in the second round against Baylor. All the season highs, and those 3 highlighted in red were the career high numbers that they put up in that match against Baylor to make it here.
Yeah, talk about stepping up in big moments.
there to Yates. Again, we mentioned it in our first match. When you've got a big block, you got to give your hitters some room to operate.
The serve from Harper Murray.
The bottom is just dropping out of that serve, but Harper Murray also serving into some traffic. There's 4 players on that left side of the court.
Almodovar takes it. Kaminsky with the handset over to Brooke Smith. Still going. Yeah, it's hard to stop that.
Such a great run. We usually see Annie Jackson go on a slide all the way out to the antenna. This time they put it right over the top of Bergen Riley's head, keeps her close. Great swing and a good surge from Nebraska here in set 1.
This is a Dayton team that has had several injuries. In fact, Brooke Smith, one of their outside hitters, twisted her ankle before that match against Baylor. They weren't sure if she was going to play.
And she played fantastic last week against Baylor. And then at practice yesterday, somebody got hit and they're like, no, we can't afford to lose anybody. And then to lose Alyssa Miller right now is tough.
Worth mentioning, Brooke Smith is in the position of L2 because of an injury to Taylor Russell. They're starting left side. Aaliyah Williams is also on the right side. She's just part of that block there. But Aaliyah Williams is at natural middle. She's on the right side because of injury as well. So they've had to reshuffle this situation in their lineups quite a bit throughout the entirety of this season.
So the block gets the point for Dayton, but you saw that first set coming out of the hands of Ava Larkin. Maybe a little adrenaline flowing. It was a bit wide. Emily Young behind the service line. And she'll get the ace.
Hard to come into a match completely cold with no adrenaline yet. I'm sure once she got her number called, there was some adrenaline flowing through her body, but it'll take a few plays.
Nebraska, a program that has won 5 national titles. Trying to make it back-to-back years in the national championship match. Bergen Riley, Andy Jackson is stopped. Ooh. And Bergen Riley getting offensive.
Bergen Riley beast mode, according to John Cook. He wants her to be aggressive. When they play their best volleyball, she is aggressive offensively when she's in the front row, and she slammed that one down.
It was fierce with 2 hands.
Kennedy Orr. Kaminsky passes. Harper Murray out of the back row. Nebraska not giving up on the play, but Elena Yates camping out at the net.
Great swing by Dayton, great pursuit by Nebraska. Ready at the net there to throw down on the overpass.
Elena Yates owning the net, big swing out of the middle, and then she cleans things up, goes up and gets it high and throws it down.
Service error by Carissa Kaminsky. And Alyssa Miller coming back to the floor with tears in her eyes and her left leg wrapped.
Oh, you just absolutely hate to see it. You worked so hard to get to this moment, to be able to play in a match like this. And within the first set, you have an injury. You just feel for Alyssa Miller right now.
Taylor Landfair.
I say no more tipping from Taylor Landfair. When you can hit the ball like that, let it fly.
And Alyssa Miller, the Kansas native, a first-team All-A10 selection, all-region selection, was having a career year. Injured right now on the sidelines for Dayton.
Well, you cannot state enough that Dayton is in this position in part because of Alyssa Miller and the job that she has done leading this team and running this offense. So you absolutely hate to see that she is injured right now in one of the biggest moments of their careers, but Ava Larkin now tabbed. You got to come in, next man up mentality, and run this offense in an efficient way.
And that's the whole goal. Almodovar blocked. Has to readjust and hits that one in the net. Nebraska will take it.
Merritt Beason and Rebecca Alec on point defensively. You see them move together as blockers, and their timing and rhythm is perfect.
4-0 run as Bergen Riley steps back to serve. Free ball to the Huskers. Set point, Nebraska. Rodriguez with the dig. It's going Harper Murray on back row through a triple block. It does not matter. Set one to Nebraska. They end on a 6-0 run.
Dayton came out strong and really pushed them. I mean, Nebraska only hit 273. Those are not blistering numbers, but Nebraska on top of Dayton in the first set, 25-17.
Okay, Ava Larkin has stepped in to take her spot right now while Alyssa Miller is unavailable. Guys, being former players, when you see a teammate injured, how do you regroup?
It's hard. I mean, it's a shocking loss, number one. It's an emotional loss. That becomes difficult as a teammate to overcome it mentally. You have to reset. Obviously, they hope to do that there at the end of the first set. But if you're Ava Larkin here, you don't have to be a hero. You don't have to do anything special. It's all about location. Put your hitters in great locations and allow them to go to work.
Nebraska ended set one on a 6-0 run. And Merritt Beason is blocked.
Elena Yates does a fantastic job, number 17 in red, closing that block in the middle on Beason. She's very long, a little bit late, but closes that seam.
Elena Yates, an All-Atlantic 10 first-team selection this year. They're serving at Harper Murray. Beason from the left side. So they'll bring in Olivia Malk to serve. I don't know if you guys saw the TikTok of John Cook trying to pass her serve.
Oh, yes, I did.
It did not go well for him.
It did not.
Yeah, but you know what? That's why you don't hate on somebody's serve, because once you know, you know. And he was saying that he thought her serve looked a little weak, a little easy to pass.
A little wimpy is
a little
what he said.
wimpy.
Yeah.
And so she said, all right, we'll get out on the court. Let's see if you can serve receive. I mean, he didn't even get his platform on it.
No.
Could
No.
barely move, because
No.
that ball moves.
Did they break down that video and film after practice?
I hope so.
Yeah, I hope so.
There's a double contact called on Dayton. You can't double the ball and then send it directly over. That is a violation.
Net violation on Dayton trying to block that overpass.
Serves at Almodovar. Nebraska has been serving her. Harper Murray.
Taylor Russell in for Dayton on the right side. We were told she would only come in case of an emergency and because of an injury, but she's come in and had an impact with a block right there for Dayton.
Tough serve from Emily Young. Almodovar. Lexi Rodriguez keeping it alive. Harper Murray goes long. Madison, what were they talking about in the Nebraska huddle?
In the Nebraska huddle, Merritt Beeson was speaking to the whole team, and she said, we've earned the right to be in control. We've earned the right to be confident. We didn't play our best volleyball, and we won. Let's have some confidence in this next set because we've earned that much.
Such a vocal leader for this group. Rebecca Alec with a little tip.
6 kills for Rebecca Alec to start this match, and it's still early. We've seen a ton of power from her, but this time defense dug in for the power. Little finesse shot right over the block.
Yeah, 6 kills for her. Her season high, by the way, is 11. She's over halfway there. Almodovar, her 22nd and 23rd swings.
A little bit of a low set there. Yes, Lexi Almodovar, we've mentioned her height, that she's undersized, but the girl can elevate. I mean, she's got hops for days. So allow her to elevate by throwing that ball up a little bit higher so she can go up and get it.
Tim Horsman talking to his setter, giving her that same feedback.
If you're just joining us in this match, Dayton has had to go to their backup setter due to an injury to Alyssa Miller, their main setter in the first set. And an ace from Lexi Rodriguez.
We can see Alyssa Miller has actually gotten off the bike, and now she's having a conversation with Tim Horsman next to him on the bench.
Almodovar twirling the block.
Beautiful high swing off the hands, clearing the defense in the back row for Nebraska. And Almodovar needs to take swings like that.
In a good location from Larkin there to set her up and allow her to go high hands.
That's her 5th kill.
Hello.
Electricity in the middle from Andy Jackson.
Starts with a perfect pass, but Bergen Riley knows how to feed her hitter. She's got a fantastic arsenal. Look at the gap set and the fast arm from Andy Jackson in the middle.
It's so fast. It comes off her hand so fast in a blink of an eye.
When talking to her last year, she told us growing up she thought she would be a basketball player at North Carolina. For some reason that was stuck in her head, but the good news is for Nebraska fans, she found volleyball.
Just traded one iconic school for another to play.
And Dayton calls a timeout as Nebraska has extended it to a 5-point lead here. They're up 9-4 in set number 2.
They got a lot to cheer for, Madison, because right now their volleyball team's putting in some great work, playing really efficient.
A #1 seed in this tournament. On the hunt for a 6th national title. Out of the middle comes Liana Sarkisian.
Both middles for Dayton have been impressive. High contact point, driving it down, sharp angles. They've been able to score when they pass the ball well at high percentages out of the middle.
Say the middles on the other side too for Nebraska have been really good too with Andy Jackson and Rebecca Alec.
How about that? Little firework. We talked about Andy Jackson's quick with it, quick contact. I mean, Sarkisian's done a really nice job on back-to-back plays. Here she gets an overpass opportunity, reads it well, times it perfectly. I mean, that is such a sharp shot too, wrist away.
Dropped with a better pass. Harper Murray with the left-handed tip.
Not a perfect situation there for Harper Murray to be in, just a heads-up play, reaching there, placing the ball in a really nice spot.
At the beginning of the season, John Cook talked about Harper Murray kind of lost that sparkle in her eye. He told us yesterday it's back.
It's back, and she's having a lot of fun. She and John Cook have a nice relationship. They do TikToks together, and I think she's in a really good spot with her team now.
The tip by Taylor Landfair. And then Sarkisian using that Nebraska block to her advantage.
At this level, in these big moments, you can't tip. I mean, you can tip to stay alive in a rally, but on an ideal situation, get rid of the tipping.
And we saw how good Taylor Landfair can be when she does it, when she goes full force, uses her whole toolkit.
Well, they want her to. I mean, you called a match where she tipped a couple times and they immediately called a timeout and said, no more of that.
And she went away from it and dominated.
But you love that from your coaches and from your teammates when they have the belief in you and they tell you, we want you to swing, take a big rip, we've got your back.
Cover. Exactly.
Backside to Sarkisian. Harper Murray out of the back row. Dug it too. Landfair swung, but the block was bigger.
Liana Sarkisian making her presence felt. Actually, that was Elena. No, that was Sarkisian. Look at her scoot out. She knows it's going outside. Big press, left hand over the net, taking that angle away from Landfair.
And look at the size advantage there. You would have thought Landfair would have seen she's got a smaller block with the setter front row. Maybe turn that ball a little bit line, go away from Sarkisian.
Taylor Russell. Becca Alec off of 1 foot, and it's long.
Timing and rhythm was just off on that set, and Rebecca Alec didn't have her feet under her.
Almost looked like she got there too soon and she had to wait on it.
And both teams hitting 0 in this set. There's Russell. Rebecca Alec with a roof.
Rebecca Alec, number 5 in white, way over the net defensively. I love to watch her block, and you watch her and Bergen Riley move together, hands press, nowhere to go.
Also, how deflating when she's pointing down after the fact.
Well, it did go straight down.
You gotta have a little swagger out there.
Oh, she's got it.
Yeah, you two never had that, right? Come on. You definitely had it.
Taylor Russell playing injured, but battling through the block. She's done a really nice job on both pins.
It's number 10 in red for Dayton. And Alyssa Miller working on the bike, unsure if she can come back in this match. Harper Murray. There's a net violation against Dayton.
Nebraska has 3 hitters in the front row, and then Harper Murray out of the back row. I mean, there's so much to stress about if you're Dayton defensively. Harper Murray's foot speed defensively always impresses me. She got a touch on that ball. Lexi Rodriguez was chasing it too, and they just couldn't connect on that.
Emily Young's done a really nice job from the service line. She's got a great jump float, kind of just drops it right in front of these serve receivers.
And gets an ace right on cue, Katie.
It's like I was prophetic there.
Yeah,
I knew it was coming.
Incredible pace on that ball, right in the seam between Rodriguez and Murray.
Dayton within 1.
And look at it, it just dies.
Kaminsky with the hand set to Almodovar. Harper Murray. Kaminsky laying out. Great range. The pancake by Bergen Riley. One-handed save from Malk. Wow, the scrappy plays on both sides. And Rebecca Alex had enough.
Love the defensive intensity. Bergen Riley lays it down, serving up a stack of pancakes, and then a one-arm stab in the back from Olivia Malk. Impatience defensively getting this overpass.
And if you're Brooke Smith, you just got to control that a little bit more in that moment.
Malk, a player that has forced her way onto the court for this Nebraska team. And a misconnection there, a point for the Cornhuskers.
Transition setting and non-setters putting up a hittable ball. They need to give their hitters room against this Nebraska block.
Almodovar with the power punch up to 6 kills.
Ava Larkin, perfect feed to the pin, finding her rhythm with Almodovar, number 4 in red.
But if these hitters for Dayton have the opportunity or put in good situations, look what happens. You just got to put a ball, regardless of who's setting it, whether it's Larkin, Kaminsky, somebody else stepping in there, give them an opportunity to go up and swing. Good things happen.
Yes, Harper Murray, kill number 7.
She's got such power. I mean, she seems so thin, so little. Like, where does that power come from? But absolute torque from this hip as she follows through. Strong approach. She sees the seam in the block. She takes it. Awesome swing.
Was the #1 recruit coming out of high school, was the Gatorade National Player of the Year, the Big Ten Freshman of the Year, and an All-American last season.
Really nice job by Dayton's block there. Lexi Almodovar links up with Sarkisian. They know Andy Jackson's a slide queen, and for good reason. They follow her. Great setup. And she's hurt because she says, oh my gosh.
Alyssa Miller has just subbed back in for Dayton. Went down in the first set. Came back with her left leg wrapped. The starting setter. Service error puts Nebraska up 3.
It'll be interesting to see Alyssa Miller's mobility, especially in the front row as a blocker, and then certainly when she moves to the backcourt as a defender. One of her strengths is her athleticism. She's so quick to get to the ball and keep this Dayton offense in system. Is that hindered because of the injuries she sustained in the first set?
How do you take advantage of that if you're Nebraska as they get the ace?
First and foremost, you set in her direction, force her to block. And then for her, she needs to just, they need to pass the ball, right? They need to stay in system, extra focus on the first contact for Dayton so she doesn't have to move too much.
For Nebraska, serve tough, get her on the run.
They do, yeah, she couldn't get there.
Really nice job by Harper Murray putting the pressure on from the service line.
Alyssa Miller all taped up. If they can get her the ball to her hand, she could probably run the offense really well, but not off a bad pass.
3 aces tonight for Harper Murray, and Dayton calls a timeout. Nebraska up 19-14. It's a 3-0 run for Nebraska. And a 4th ace tonight for Harper Murray. That ties her career high.
Yeah, the accuracy, the location, the pace on that serve, really tough to pass for Dayton.
Largest lead for the Cornhuskers. Almodovar. Was that Bergen Riley with the block?
Bergen Riley, Andy Jackson all over that.
Bergen Riley, just a sophomore, stepped into that starting setter position right away last year as a true freshman. Sarkisian on the slide. Free ball to the Flyers. Sarkisian tooling the block. She has 5 kills, no errors.
This Dayton team, when they get Alyssa Miller, their setter, in a good location, she knows how to feed these hitters. She has a connection. She works with them every day, and you can see the difference.
The question is, can you put it on her head consistently enough? Because she's still limping around in between points.
That's long, no touch. Russell, dumped by Murray. Andy Jackson on the slide. Taylor Landfair is wrong.
Really nice job by Dayton recognizing the situation, right? You saw Carissa Kaminsky step in on an errant pass. She set the ball. You saw Lexi Almodovar. She set the ball on a second contact. When the ball is not near or around Alyssa Miller, other people are stepping in to set and carry the load. Good heads-up situational volleyball there.
3 straight points for the Flyers. Taylor Landfair going through the block. She gets a piece of Sarkisian.
That time, Taylor Landfair trying to turn it a little bit more down the line, and there's a seam with Alyssa Miller there, the smaller blocker for Dayton.
So that ends the run, and now Nebraska can sub in Kennedy Orr, who's become that serving specialist over her time with the Cornhuskers. Free ball for Dayton. Almodovar out of the back row. It's long and no touch. Or no, there was a touch. Point for Dayton.
Wow, I did not see that.
I didn't either.
I thought she mishit it.
John Cook did not move a muscle.
It was a net call on that play.
No wonder why we didn't see it.
Yeah, that's why we didn't see a touch.
Yep.
This was the play before Rebecca Alec got a little piece of it with her arm. Set point, Nebraska up 24-18. Shorter serve from Bergen Riley. Russell. Taylor Landfair drops it in, and Nebraska leads this match 2-0.
Dayton hung around, but Nebraska started to get more and more efficient towards the end of that second set.
And it's interesting when you look at the set overall, they hit 0.56. I mean, that's nothing to write home about, but still they get it done in commanding fashion, 25-18.
But if you're Nebraska, you want to set yourself up on a high note, you know, in this match moving forward in the NCAA tournament.
John Cook is with Madison.
Coach, a little bit of a slower start, but holding Dayton overall to an 0.53 hitting efficiency. What adjustments do you want to see in this next set?
I want to see us hit the ball on the court and try to get in a rhythm offensively. We're just out of sync. They're serving really tough, but again, our blocking defense is saving us right now.
Thank you, Coach.
4 blocks for Nebraska. You mentioned their defense. Dayton is only hitting 0.38, but we'll see if they can get the offense in a little bit better of a flow. The Cornhuskers lead the match 2-0. Star watch, Lexi Almodovar, 7 kills. Harper Murray with 7 kills for Nebraska. And you heard John Cook say before the commercial break, they're looking for more flow and rhythm from this offense that hit under 100 in set number 2. They'll get a point from their block and Rebecca Alec.
Carissa Kaminsky, the libero for Dayton, flying all over the place, trying to cover that ball, keep it alive. But good defensive stop for Nebraska.
Rebecca Alec having a great match tonight, offensively and defensively, as you just saw there.
Yeah, a couple of blocks, 7 kills for her. That's out, point for Dayton.
Brooke Smith staying aggressive on that left side, using the block in Nebraska. Dayton trying to get some momentum on their side of the net in this 3rd set.
Emily Young, Louisville native, she's had some success from the service line.
Two aces tonight. The dig by Lexi Rodriguez. Mary Beeson a second chance.
Lexi Rodriguez, the libero for Nebraska, just owns that left side of the court. She reads that ball so well, keeps it in play, and allows Nebraska to stay in system in transition.
Lexi Rodriguez came into this match needing 48 digs to become the all-time digs leader at Nebraska. She's got 13. And already early in this set, a better flow for Nebraska offensively.
Definitely. I'm sure John Cook jumped all over them, saying, look, we got to clean up our game. This is the NCAA tournament. It's win or go home. They want to stay in this match, but be playing at a much higher level.
And you mentioned it before the commercial break, Holly. To build that momentum, if they win this match, to move on to Sunday, you got to have it.
Definitely.
Wisconsin waits for the winner of this one. That is out across the court. And Tim Horsman is going to challenge it.
Dayton team telling their head coach, please challenge that ball. They thought that caught the sideline.
And Horsman was quick to it. It's almost like he watched from the sideline. He had a good vantage point. He went immediately to that green card.
The ruling on the court is ball out, point to Nebraska. Dayton is challenging that the ball was in.
Ooh, why that ball is in?
If it hits the line, it's in.
Good challenge by Dayton.
Definitely got a piece of it.
I mean, that ball's splitting that line there.
The original call was ball out. From that angle, that should be enough to overturn it.
Agreed.
After review, the call will be reversed. The ball was in. Dayton will win the point and retain their challenge.
So both teams still have 2 challenges remaining. And And that stops what would be a 3-0 run for Nebraska.
Horseman seems very pleased with himself, by the way, over there on the bench. Yeah. All smiles for getting his challenge correct.
Beeson on the right side. Almodovar continuing to find success. That's her 8th kill. Now she's taken 39 swings to get there.
But a really nice pass. Alyssa Miller on the run, just puts up a great located ball. Good in-tempo set. She's gutting it out right now for her team.
Kaminsky with the dig of Murray. Harper, Murray terminates.
One-on-one situation, Holly.
Bergen Riley putting her hitters in wonderful locations, and she holds the middle because she's already established Rebecca Alec as a threat, and that allows Harper Murray to work one-on-one sharp angle swing for the kill.
Now, the coaching staff has talked about Bergen Riley, such a student of the game. Last year as a true freshman, they had to tell her what the corrections were. This year, she knows immediately what changes need to be made.
She's also so stoic for a young player. Nothing seems to faze her. The moment, bad runs, bad set. That calming presence is such a nice thing to have in your setter.
Gabby Arroyo serving for the Flyers. Get Almodovar in double figures now with 10 kills.
Defense really impressive for Dayton, able to stay in there. And then Almodovar heating up offensively with a transition swing. Watch her cross body down the line, almost catches Bergen Riley in the head.
The Flyers on top by a point. They have to win this set to extend the match.
Dayton doing a nice job getting some good touch blocks.
How do you stop her right now?
She's feeling it. I love it. Alyssa Miller putting her in good position. Alyssa Miller now checks into the front row, rotates up. It'll be interesting to see if Nebraska tries to key in on her as a blocker.
Defense is what's allowing Dayton to score points. The defenders are in good positions, and they're getting those swings from Lexi. What's her Almodovar. I lost the rhythm for some reason. Almodovar.
4-0 run for Dayton. John Cook calls timeout.
Yes, and the Flyers made their first NCAA tournament. Tim Horsman's first year head coach in 2003, and from that point on, their legacy has been Flyer legacy. It's stitched into their jerseys, and it pays respect to the teams before them that have paved the way to this historical season. And guys, I'll toss it back to you by echoing a metaphor that one of the Flyers parents said to me earlier. This is a team that drinks the water while remembering who dug the well, and I think that was really well said.
Yeah, and it was really cool too, Madison. They had some alumni in Waco when they beat Baylor, and they brought those alumni into the locker room to share their thoughts on watching this year's team make history in their first regional semifinal.
It's pretty special when you have alumni that come back, and it means a great deal to them to see somebody accomplish something that they weren't able to do.
5-0 run for Dayton. Stopped by the Nebraska block.
What was evident, John Cook was not thrilled with his team's play here in the set when he took that timeout. Look for some urgency from this Nebraska team. You got to play cleaner, more efficient. To Holly's point earlier, regardless of winning this match, you want to be building in the right direction, peaking at the right time. And we haven't seen the cleanest of volleyball from this Nebraska team so far tonight.
Well, Coach Coach John Cook said in their huddle that there are big holes in the block. He said we have to close on Almodovar, finish the block and close off those seams. That's all we have to do.
And that's in part because Alyssa Miller, Madison, is in the game, gutting this out for her team, keeping her offense in tempo, pushing the fast pace.
Harper Murray finds the floor right in front of Kaminsky. Neither offense has been fluid in this match. Dayton's hitting under 100. Nebraska's hitting 173. This is a Nebraska team that almost hits 300 on the season. Murray out of the back row. She's at 11.
Harper Murray does it all for Nebraska, and you see her. She starts the playoff with a tough serve and then makes herself available on the bick, right down the middle, double block in front. It doesn't matter. You cannot stop Harper Murray.
The offense as a whole might not be clicking on all cylinders, but Harper Murray is tonight.
Hitting 304. A solid number for an outside.
Great run.
Talk about big hole in the block. Alyssa Miller's pushing the pace, and Andy Jackson, the middle blocker for Nebraska, chasing.
So Ava Larkin will come in to serve now. She stepped in when Alyssa Miller went down with an injury, and she's the setter on the floor right now. So Alyssa Miller's in the front row.
But I like this decision from Tim Horsman because you put Larkin in, now it looks like she's going to check right back out. So she was used as a serving sub. I thought he was going to leave her in there in the backcourt just to be an extra set of hands.
I agree, I thought so too.
Which I wouldn't hate that idea. Be an extra set of hands. If she has to go on the run, then Larkin can step in and help out.
Showboy with the dig. Taylor Landfair too far.
Nebraska nowhere to be found defensively on that block. Taylor Landfair was chasing in the setter's front row, so I'm not sure how that's happening defensively for Nebraska.
Just a bit undisciplined, which is somewhat of a surprise from this Nebraska block.
Yeah. Elena Yates in the middle.
Dayton doing what they do best, keeping the ball off the floor and doing it with control. Fantastic ball control by Almodovar, and then Yates, quick crossbody one-on-one out of the middle for Dayton.
Wow. She's 3 blockers in front of her, and it doesn't matter. She's still able to thread the needle and go cross-court wrist away. Look at this swing on the bick, right between 2 blockers. With so much power and pace, nobody's digging that ball.
Harper Murray has been the bright spot for Nebraska's offense. 12 kills, 333 hits. And a missed connection there for Brooke Smith. Service error by Bergen Riley. It helps when your libero can get the first touch.
If you watch the serve-receive formation for Nebraska, you want to go after Taylor Landfair because Harper Murray's passing really well. Lexi Rodriguez in the middle of the court. Lexi Rodriguez is cheating over to take that line ball away from Taylor Landfair, and it pays off with the perfect pass.
Brooke Smith tooling the block.
Really nice job there by Miller. She's pushed forward on the pass. It's called a jack set. When your body takes you one way and you set the opposite direction, it's hard for the blockers to be able to track. In that instance, Brooke's able to tool.
Harper Murray has the hot hand.
At this point, who else do you set? Every time you set her, she's getting you a kill.
I mean, 14 kills, 385 percentage. She also has tied her career high with 4 aces from the service line. Harper Murray's had 6 kills in this set.
And a block to add to her stellar stat sheet right now.
Harper Murray is dialed in for Nebraska.
Because he did not like that decision from his setter based on those facial expressions. Sometimes you don't have to say anything at all. Yeah.
A look will do the trick.
Yes, it will.
That one out by Sarkisian, and that ties it at 14.
Ball set a little bit low in the middle. I like that choice to run the middle. They've had success for Dayton after a perfect pass.
First tie since it was 4-all.
Great
Young
hustle.
on the hustle. Free ball to the Cornhuskers. Andy Jackson with the punch. First lead for Nebraska since it was 4-3.
Heck of a run on a 31 gap set. Great save, though, by the Dayton Flyers. Started with Emily Young going into the fans. But Bergen Riley sets up a perfect ball. And Andy Jackson loves it.
4-0 run now for Nebraska to retake the lead. Oh, you blink and you miss that from Sarkisian.
We see Andy Jackson go on a 31 set and score. Now Dayton runs the same exact play. Sarkisian able to capitalize.
Tied at 15 with Gabby Arroyo behind the service line for the Flyers.
Harper Murray has established her power offensively, so that fast roll shot in the middle of the court drops. Everybody's on the perimeter, dug in for her heat. But how about the pass from freshman Olivia Malk, who's worked her way into the lineup? She's probably the heir apparent for the libero position for Nebraska in the future.
You know, early on, they knew that she was going to be such a big factor. They've called her a rock. They said they changed some things around to get her on the court.
That's saying something, considering Nebraska's depth.
Lexi Almodovar with 14 kills.
Dayton has been in better places defensively, allowing them to get transition swings, and they're getting used to Nebraska and some of their tendencies. She's human. Seriously, she's been amazing. Just a miss hit there.
Puts Dayton up by a point. Both teams been trying to find rhythm offensively in this match. Service error for the Flyers. Dayton has to win this set in order to extend things. So Murray rotates back to the service line. Taylor Landfair is up front right now.
Alyssa Miller also in the front row at setter. for Dayton. Does Lanchard go after her?
That started with Kaminsky laying out. And then Alexi Almodovar is going to get the kill.
Carissa Kaminsky, the libero for Dayton, has just been everywhere, sliding under this ball, keeping it up, and then Lexi Almodovar finishes the point with the kill to the deep middle.
Jackson stopped on the slide by Taylor Russell.
Great job by Russell tracking that slide. You know, in this scenario with Bergen Riley up front that they're going to try to run that slide because Jackson is so lethal on it. Great job by Russell sticking in there. Solid press.
Service error pulls Nebraska back within one.
Dayton trying to serve away from Rodriguez, and that's forcing errors. They're trying to go cross court, catching the tape.
Russell. Kaminsky. Roll shot from the back row from Almodovar. That is in for Taylor Russell. We weren't sure we were going to see her because she's been banged up this year.
She was being used in emergency situations early on in the NCAA tournament, so clearly she's obviously gotten better with her injury. We've seen her a decent amount here tonight.
Dayton needs 5 more points to extend this match to a 4th set.
Can't give away free points. We've seen multiple errors from the service line from this Dayton team. So difficult to beat a team like Nebraska on their home court when you're forcing errors.
That's the 9th service error by Dayton. Landfair guarding the net. 8th time we've been tied. And Dayton will call a timeout as it's a race to 25 points now. We've hit the red zone, is what they like to call it. A Nebraska win, and this match is over. A Dayton win, and we're playing 4 sets.
She has such a great relationship with John Cook. We saw this earlier in the Wisconsin-Texas A&M match. Can confirm her sister created this sweatshirt, a little homage to Step Brothers, a great comedy. Well, we say great comedy, but there she is with John Cook. Their faces transposed on the actors. I love that. Yeah. You can sell that. You can buy that now.
Wow.
Off TikTok, apparently.
TikTok shop.
Can that be my Christmas sweater for national semifinal and final?
Well, we should see if Nebraska makes it there.
They can still be represented, I thought.
That was all Brooke Smith by herself with the solo stuff.
Left side block of Dayton has been really impressive the last few plays.
With a pretty pass to set that up. Bergen Riley will go back to Taylor Landfair down the line. Tied at 21. Let's check in with Madison.
I listened in on Dayton's huddle, and Coach Horseman's speech was pretty motivational. He said, be fearless in these big moments, be the aggressor. And watching Dayton's bench these past couple of points, they are fired up. I see a lot of hugs post points. I hear a lot of, we do this, we run this, and you have to love the fire. As with the fan ratio in here, it feels like it's Dayton versus the world.
And that was the mentality they came into this match with, Madison, was being aggressive on every play. Harper Murray puts Nebraska up 22-21. You're going to 25. Almodovar readjusting, dug up by Rodriguez. Kaminsky gets one of her own. Now hunts it down. It's going back over, and Almodovar waiting to throw it down tied.
Great pursuit. Wow, look at Malk do everything she can to get this back over the net for Nebraska.
Tie. Free ball to the Flyers. There's going to be a net violation on Nebraska, and now Dayton is 2 points away from extending this match and their season.
Dayton is fighting for their lives, playing high-level volleyball right now. Impressive to see.
Nebraska will take its final timeout, so neither team with any timeouts left in this set. Going to 25, you have to win by 2. Dayton has to win this set or the match is over. They've got the crowd behind them. Service error.
That was just a laser down the line, and Tim Horsman, the head coach for Dayton's, going to challenge that ball.
Well, he asked Kaminsky immediately, and she said challenge it, and so he got up to go for the call.
What'd you think watching it live?
I thought it looked really close.
Yeah.
Naturally, I thought it was in.
It was just a
The ruling
laser
on the
beam
court
down the
is
line.
ball out, point to Nebraska. Dayton is challenging that the ball was in.
It's going to be a big time call.
Olivia Malk has her right foot on the line, and that ball looks wide. Good.
I agree with you.
Yeah, good footwork by her to get to that line and make sure it's out. Very close, though.
Almost looks like the shadow of the ball is on the line. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But where the ball comes up, it's off of it.
Important that the original call was ball out, so it has to be obvious for them to overturn it.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I agree, Holly. I think it looks just a smidge out.
I mean, this is a huge decision, too, because if they overturn this, Dayton has set point.
After review, the call is confirmed. The ball was out. Nebraska will retain the point, and Dayton will lose their challenge.
23 all.
Dayton players need to lock in right now. Make sure they're over-communicating on this first contact.
Lexi Rodriguez behind the service line. She served them on a 4-0 run just moments ago. Into the middle. Liana Sarkisian, and it is set point Dayton.
Really nice job by Sarkisian. She had 2 blockers in front of her. She went crossbody, recognizing what was in front of her, what was open. Just a heads-up play and a massive point for Dayton.
Trying to extend its season into a 4th set here in Lincoln. Arroyo. You gotta give the ball to Harper Murray, tied at 24.
Freshman Olivia Malk handled that serve perfectly, put it in Bergen Riley's hands, and of course, Bergen Riley going to her hot hitter, Harper Murray.
Harper Murray has had 9 kills in this set.
Yeah, I mean, we started the set, it was, what, 7-7 with Becca Alec and Harper Murray. They were neck and neck in terms of kill leader, and then Harper Murray has just taken off in this set alone. It's been the Harper Murray show.
Almodovar trying to get a swing off, tips it through the block. Harper Murray, boom, off of Kaminsky's face. Match point, Nebraska.
But what a heads-up play by Nebraska. She comes in underneath to get the tip. She can't get all the way outside, but she communicates with Bergen Riley, who leaves it in for her, and Kaminsky wants it back. What more can I do? But she hit it so hard that that ball goes long.
Almodovar ties it at 25.
Tim Horsman told us if we're going to go down, we're going to go down on Lexi Almodovar's arm. We're going to go down swinging, and boy, has she done that tonight.
17 kills, 18 kills, excuse me. Tied for the 13th time. I think she served too early.
Maybe no whistle.
Almodovar flying out of the back row. Second set point, Dayton.
Nebraska goes off-speed shot. Almodovar swings for the fences, Holly.
Carissa Kaminsky, the libero for Dayton, crashing the middle. She knew that was coming. And Lexi Almodovar out of the back row. Beautiful kill. Wrist away to the corner.
Back to Malk. Harper Murray is blocked, and Dayton forces a 4th set. Nebraska had a match point, but couldn't close it out.
Incredible response by Dayton with a lot of pressure on the line, and nobody's been able to stop Harper Murray. But the last play of this 3rd set, the block moves inside and gets all of it to win the 3rd set.
Call them the Fighting Flyers. They're still alive. Set 4 we go.
Rebecca Alec in the middle. Let's check in with Madison.
Well, on Dayton's side of things, there was a lot of smiles, as taking a set off for Nebraska is a feat that many cannot accomplish. On Nebraska's side, from Coach Cook, he said, we can't fall asleep. We have to kill balls, be disciplined on the block, offensively and defensively. All around the court, we have to step up.
Finishes that point.
Well, to Madison's point, relaying what John Cook said, I mean, Harper Murray was the only offensive player really getting kills for Nebraska in that 3rd set. Becca Alec obviously got off to a great start. We're starting to see her get some sets from Bergen Riley, but I think the block was the most apparent issue that Nebraska had there in that third set, Holly.
Nebraska usually has that defensive mentality where they just shut teams down. They are everywhere and they shrink the court, making it so hard for their opponents, and they've struggled to find that tonight.
Back to Harper Murray, who's leading them with 18 kills.
She does such a good job yo-yoing the defense. In certain situations, she goes hard cross-court power, and then she does a really nice job just mixing in those dainty little finesse roll shots over top of the block. Really keeps a defense struggling to know what's going to come.
Dovar, dug up by Malk. And a net violation on Dayton. Wisconsin is waiting for the winner of this match. They'll play on Sunday in the regional final. And the serve long and wide, from Lexi Rodriguez. The libero, Chris Kaminsky, going to step back for Dayton, and she was so critical. Her scrappy plays kept Dayton in that third set.
Dayton trying to find a weakness right now in Nebraska's serve receive, and Olivia Malk, the freshman, receiving a lot of the serves, but handling it pretty well.
Great dig. That's going to be a point for Nebraska. Lexi Rodriguez, give her flowers.
Dolphin dive. She does such an amazing job sliding under this ball and lifting it. Setting her team up for a big transition swing. Harper Murray goes flat off the hands.
That gets Harper Murray to a season high 21 kills.
Usually when we look at Nebraska numbers, there's balance, balance, balance. Tonight, it's Harper Murray and then the rest of the team.
Yeah, she has 21 kills. The next closest is 8. That's for Rebecca Alec.
Which is interesting because it's not like Nebraska's passed the ball poorly. They've put Bergen Riley in good situations, and yet there's still this drastic disparity between Harper Murray and the rest of the offensive players.
There's a name we haven't called very often, and it's Merritt Beeson. She's got 2 kills, and she's hitting for negative numbers. That's a stat line you do not see from her.
Yeah, that's a player that averages almost 3 kills a set and hits 248 on the year. Andy Jackson, excuse me.
That is a good way to spread the wealth. Put Andy Jackson on a slide. She is so dynamic going off of 1 foot. Look at her cut it right down the line. Carissa Kaminsky's playing lights out, but that one is hard to get underneath of.
Murray back row. Oh, wow, how'd she get that over?
Digs the ball overhand with ease, sets herself up with the back row attack, and just goes short to that left front location for the kill. I mean, she's been so impressive in every aspect of the game, starting with aces, blocks, digs, passing, obviously kills.
Everything she touches is turned to gold tonight.
And it's a career high 22 kills for her, as there's Nebraska's block showing up to the party. Down the line with the serve. Almodovar stopped by Jackson. 4-0 run, Nebraska.
Andy Jackson going coast to coast. She had a block on the left side, now going right side. Really quick laterally closing the block to her pin blockers.
This is something we haven't seen a lot out of Nebraska tonight. They're finally getting back to the defensive stops with their block. This is what separates them from other teams in the country. Defense first at the net.
Dayton calls timeout. Nebraska on a 4-0 run. Here in set 4, the Flyers forcing a set 4 after winning set 3, 27-25. Winner going to the regional final on Sunday. Madison, what was Dayton talking about in that hug?
Coach Tim Morsman was saying, feel like we're getting a little flat. Also, they're closing the block well, so now we need to go back and swing high, make that adjustment, and we're in this.
It's an excellent point, Madison, because as this block has come on, now that Dayton's a little bit smaller, you got to be really on your point to find sharp angles, use the block, tool it to the best of your ability.
And there goes Lexi Almodovar up to 20 kills. 8th time this season that she's reached the 20-kill mark.
Misconnection there, Bergen Riley to Andy Jackson. Usually they're automatic. I'm not sure if Andy Jackson got in front of that or the rhythm was just off with the location of the set.
And that has been such a weapon for them this season. Dayton hands them back the point with a service error. Sarkisian has just had some key kills for them.
She's just been steady throughout the evening. I mean, she's bombed a couple balls that have made you say, whoa, and then just there, she places it nicely, puts it in play. A veteran player. She played a lot on the right side, moved back to the middle, her natural position. She's been a key part of this offense all season long.
In high school, she was the Gatorade Player of the Year in the state of Connecticut.
Dig from Sarkisian.
She can play back row. How about back-to-back digs?
Oh, now that's just mean, Bergen.
Is it though, Bergen beast mode?
Sarkisian's having her moment, dig after dig, and you just suck the wind off the court by dropping in a 2-shoot. Perfectly placed.
Yes, and good timing by Bergen Riley to take that ball herself to the middle.
Free ball back to Dayton. Almodovar, a second swing out of the back row. Harper Murray's working hard on the Nebraska back row.
Nice coverage by Alec.
Three digs in this rally for Harper Murray.
Oh, great up.
Landfair seals the point.
The crowd absolutely loves it, and for good reason. Excellent defensive play from the backcourt. Great job by the front row players keeping it alive, and when Landfair had the opportunity, she took it.
Nebraska up to 389 in this set. A match they have struggled to find their rhythm offensively. That is long and no touch.
Big swing and triple block in front of Almodovar. but no touch off the Nebraska block.
A 3-0 run extends the Nebraska lead to 7 points, and Tim Horsman will call timeout. Dayton will have to climb out of this hole in order to extend their season by extending this match. Nebraska has already had a match point in set number 3, but couldn't finish it. And you give them a free ball, they can go to Rebecca Alec.
We have not called Rebecca Alec's name in a long time. That's her 9th kill. But I feel like they went away from her all of last set, and I'm not sure why. I guess Harper Murray was the hot hand, so they stayed with her.
She was, but you like to see that balanced attack. You like to see Bergen Riley mix it up. That's what makes Nebraska such a hard offense to defend, and what a drop on that serve.
5-0 run after the ace from Bergen Riley.
Ace card.
Do you pack that card?
That's a lot of aces.
Well, it's probably 5 of them, 6 of them, because that's how many Nebraska's had.
So how many do you think he comes with?
That's a great question.
Surely not 25.
You never know. Joust at the net is going to be won by Alyssa Miller.
Alyssa Miller can't jump full, but she knows how to press and wins the joust with Rebecca Alec. Setters are so good at touching it second, and then look, the press for the Dayton point.
It's a 6-inch difference there in height. Don't matter.
And a short serve hands the point back to the Cornhuskers. Now they're up 17-8.
Looks like it hurts to serve from the back line. Last time she served, she barely made it over the net as well.
You wonder at that point, should you just stay down on the floor, make sure you get a good contact on it.
The one-arm save by Bergen Riley. She just stuck her hand out. Attacking her into the net for Brooke Smith, and Nebraska up 10.
And a shame, because I love the run from Alyssa Miller there. She got Brooke Smith a one-on-one situation. Unfortunately, she just can't capitalize. Hits it in the net there.
Dayton is out of timeouts. It's a 6-1 run for Nebraska. Rebecca Alec just got herself in double figures.
Smart play there too. She's not in great position, mistimed a tad. Where do you take the ball? Just throw it to right back, because you know you've got a hindered setter.
An ace for Olivia Malk.
The nasty serve of Olivia Malk down that line, and you see it turn right. Going away from the passer.
And Tim Horsman using the challenge card. Remember, he doesn't have any timeouts, so a good way to stop play here is to use a challenge.
I need to know how many he comes with.
The ruling on the court is ball in, point to Nebraska. Dayton is challenging that the ball was out.
We'll have to send Madison up there to find out.
7 aces, lovely. How many is in his deck?
After review, the call is confirmed. The ball was in. Nebraska will retain the point, and Dayton will lose their challenge. They currently have no challenges remaining.
I love the official communication, by the way.
Yes.
Seamless.
I like that challenge by Dayton. Slow things down, get the team refocused so they can fight back. We saw them do it in the third set.
It's a bigger hole, though, at 20-8. And Nebraska 5 points away from the round of 8. Almodovar stopped by Harper Murray.
The Nebraska blockers were bunched in the middle of the court, and Almodovar didn't really have anywhere to go.
That ends a 5-0 run. And John Cook will challenge.
Harper Murray cracks me up. She walked with some pace over to her head coach, demanding that he challenge that ball.
I mean, it's the trust that they've built through the TikToks, right?
Well, and the sweatshirt.
And your Christmas gift.
Yes, you're both getting one.
Oh.
The ruling on the court is ball out, no touch, point to Dayton. Nebraska is challenging that there was a touch on the play.
I'd buy pretty much anything Harper Murray's selling because I'm such a fan, but I don't really see a touch.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it.
I don't see it as well.
After review, the call is confirmed. The ball was out and there was no touch. Dayton retains the point and Nebraska loses their challenge.
Rebecca Alec with the off speed. And then Harper Murray winning the joust. You know, there's a couple of streaks at play here for Nebraska inside this building. Coming into tonight, they've won 43 straight home matches. That's the longest active home winning streak right now. They've also won 24 straight NCAA tournament matches at home. Trying to extend that here. No touch, point Dayton.
That ball, that second ball over by Kaminsky to the donut went so fast, but Lexi Rodriguez crashes that middle. She does not let any ball drop.
I could watch highlights of Lexi Rodriguez all day.
Me too.
Gets the pass there, they go to Mary Beeson.
It's been a while since we've called her name offensively. Nice swing there by Beeson.
Yeah, trying to get herself out of hitting negative today. Nebraska 2 points away. And it goes long. Wait, Nebraska obviously with a nice lead here. It's going to be interesting to see adjustments for them pending they get 2 more points in advance, because not their best offensive night tonight.
It's also a factor to consider that Wisconsin went 5 sets against Texas A&M. Yes, there's a day in between now of a regional, but that matters. You had an opportunity here if you're Nebraska to go 3 sets and close this thing out in a sweep, and you were unable to do so. That adds unnecessary wear and tear. And kudos to Dayton for obviously fighting their way to a 4th set, but I can't wait to possibly see this matchup, the rematch, if you will, for the 3rd time between Wisconsin and Nebraska.
It is match point Cornhuskers. And a service error.
I think that sums it up for John Cook on the evening.
big cushion here for Nebraska, but they need to end it. It's been the mental approach, right? I mean, this is a big moment, big stage. How you approach this game mentally. You want to be sharp, you want to be dialed in, not just one player, as a team, and that's a really important job for the coach.
And Nebraska has now had a total of 4 match points, one of them coming in set 3. They will advance on a service error. It wasn't the prettiest night, but Nebraska is able to survive and move on to the regional final for the 34th time.